I think what we are looking at here is also to opening up words that kind of have a very abstract and non-profound meaning for us by now. I mean, we think of peace and war, but we don't really think into the depths of what they really are. Yeah. And I think in your work you really kind of drill down behind the first impression of this term and the first impression of the image you see on the television, and to understand what is behind peace and war. Just tell us some more about that.
Well, what I pieced together, mainly from observing what was happening in the 80s and early 90s, was what actually is the cycle of violence. We talk blandly about a cycle of violence, but what does it consist of? And so I put together a diagram, which is in a book that I wrote with Gabrielle Rifkind called Making Terrorism History. And basically a cycle of violence starts with an atrocity. And the result of an atrocity is terror immediately. And then that kind of distills down into fear, and fear becomes grief when the shock is over. And grief kind of hardens into anger. And unless something is done, anger hardens into bitterness, and bitterness into revenge, and revenge into retaliation. And then you get another atrocity, and the cycle goes around again. And this can happen over a period of hundreds of years. I mean, people in the Middle East still remember what happened in 1400. And so the depth of these, the effect of these shocks is profound. And so what we find more and more is that action has to be taken on a human level, even on a psychological level, to deal with the trauma of war, to help heal it. And that can happen, well, first of all, you have to provide physical safety for people. You have to stop them being shelled or shot at. And then you need to provide some political safety, some peacekeeping troops, or some way of enabling them to feel that things are going to settle down. But the most important thing really is the next two stages, which is providing psychological assistance. And that might seem soft, but it's not at all. Trauma work, trauma counseling, enabling people to meet eventually with people who have harmed them.
On our website globalleadership.tv you will find additional footage, other dialogues with innovation leaders from around the world, and also the hands-on practices that help them and their organizations to move from inspiration to real change.